Hi everyone, here I will show you how to play Scrabble. Let's start.
Hi everyone.
Make sure you like and subscribe for more, and also check out my gaming channel, Markis P Gaming, for video game Let's Play content. Despite having played this growing up, I don't think I have played it enough. I remember playing a lot of games when I was a kid, such as The Game of Life, Monopoly, playing card games, I think some Mousetrap too. I just wish I would have played this a little bit more when I was younger. It's not bad of a game. All you need is a good noggin for words. Trust me, you will have fun with this game. Now I do have a complaint with this copy since I did buy it a few years ago. I can tell you that the tiles that are in the velvet bag are made of wood. But what is this? Why is this not made out of wood? Hasbro? Shame on you! Let's set up the game. First, place the game board in the middle of the area like this. Then place all of the letter tiles in the bag. Next, each player takes a rack and places it in front of them. Each player draws one tile from the bag. The player who draws a letter closest to A goes first. In this step, a blank tile beats any letter. When this step is done, place all the tiles back in the bag. Elect one player to be the scorekeeper and have pen and paper handy to keep score. Each player, in playing order, will reach into the bag and draw 7 tiles from it without looking. Do I have 7 here? I do. Just make sure that you don't let anybody see what you just drew. Place your tiles on the rack. And finally, either have a dictionary on hand or use the internet to take on any word challenges in the event that a player spells an invalid word. And also take note of the letter distribution chart on the game board so you can see how common or how rare a letter is in this game. And turn order goes clockwise. On your turn, you will either spell a word or skip your turn. You usually skip your turn when you can't spell any words with your tiles. You may skip any turn, but you shouldn't do it too often, otherwise you'll fall behind on points. Most likely you will spell a word on your turn. To do this, simply add letters from your rack to the game board to spell your word. The player that goes first in a game must spell a word on the star, and that word must be no less than 2 letters long. It does not matter which tile is placed on the star. For example, I have these 4 tiles from my rack, and I'm going to spell the word dung, and I'm going to spell it downward. Now before I forget, the player that goes first and spells the first word on the star also gets a point bonus, as this star is treated as a premium square known as a double word bonus. I will go over premium squares later in the video. There's 2 very important rules to follow in this game. Number 1, when spelling a word, it must be either crossed or down and never diagonally. And 2, once you spell a word on the game board, none of the tiles can be moved or replaced for the rest of the game. After spelling your word, add up the numbers of the tiles from that word, and don't forget to use your premium squares that you've covered for extra points. Announce that word score and the scorekeeper will write it down. Then you will draw tiles from the bag, so then you will refill your rack back up to 7 tiles. Then your turn is over. Here are a few rules to keep in mind for every other turn after the first. Any letters played to the game board must form at least 1 word. A single letter may be played on future turns. Any new word must connect with at least 1 letter that is already on the game board. All touch and letter tiles must form complete words. Your score each turn is the sum of the letters in each word that you either form or even modify, and all players may spell any number of the same word in a game. All letters have point values. The rarer the letter, the more it's worth. Blank tiles are worth 0 points, but they're wild, and you can treat them as any letter as you want. Once you spell a word on the game board with a blank tile, that blank tile retains its chosen letter for the rest of the game. Look for tricky spots amongst words on the game board to help you score extra points. For example, I have a T and an X here, and I'm going to place them here. So, this blank letter over here is an I, and with it, I spelt the word taxi. But once you know it, I also spelt the word too. Plus, this T is worth extra points because it's on a premium square. Again, look for spots like this on the game board and take advantage of it, and you could take the lead. If a player spells an invalid word, you may challenge it, but you must do so before the next player starts their turn. When challenging a word, you can either use a dictionary or go online to see if that word exists. If it does, leave it the way it is, and the challenger must skip their next turn. Otherwise, that player must take back those letters, and then their turn is over. Now let's cover the premium squares. A double letter score will double the score of the letter that it's on, and the same for the triple letter score except it's tripled. A double word score will double the sum of all the letters that are connected along with that premium square, and the same for a triple word score except the score for that word is tripled. Once a premium square is covered, it cannot be used by anybody else. In other words, each premium square is one-time use. Any blanks on any of the letter scores are still worth nothing, but you can still place them on any of the word scores to help you double or even triple that word. If a word crosses both a word score and a letter score, use the letter score bonus first before going with the word score bonus. And if more than one word is formed with a premium letter, count every letter with any premium value for each word you form. You're gonna have to count some letters in premium values twice. And oh yeah, if you're able to clear your entire rack of 7 tiles in one turn, you get a bingo. That's an automatic 50 points. That's in addition to your word score for that turn. Some variations of words simply cannot be used. That's right, guys. You can't use LOL. Now, what if you can't make a word on your turn? Well, like I said earlier, you may keep your tiles and simply pass your turn. But there's one other thing you can do. You may exchange all or some of your letters from your rack by placing them face down, drawing the same number of tiles from the bag, and then return your discarded letters back into the bag. If you do this though, your turn is over. And if you drew too many tiles from the bag, then another player must remove the difference at random without looking at the letters and return them to the bag. In this game, there are 2 ways to win. Number 1, when all the tiles have been drawn from the bag and one player has emptied their rack. And number 2, when all players pass their turn twice in a row in turn order. When the game ends, each player's score is reduced by the sum of their unplayed letters. And if a player has used all of their letters, then the sum of the other player's unplayed letters is added to their score. The player with the highest score wins the game. A draw can happen though, and if it does, the player with the highest score before adding or subtracting unplayed letters wins the game. And finally, you can read here from the booklet to see how you can become an expert player. And that's how you play Scrabble. Pick up and play this game when you get the chance. It's good. I recommend it. And with that, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and like I always say, I'll see you later. Take care.